So la'olam. So we have at the end of the Gemara here, we're saying that really Rav is holding like Rabbi Yehuda, so therefore why does he matter in the Gemara? We did this before. The Gemara gives stadim as to why Rav is matir the bia on the first night. So Tosfos la'olam Rav ka Rabbi Yehuda svaralei. Tosfos says l'shmuel nami ikel l'shini la'olam ka Rabbi Shimon svaralei. Now, what's bothering Tosfos here is that again we have at the top that Rav is matir and Shmuel is osir. So we were going through why is Rav matir, and then we came out that we have these reasons. Even though he's like Rabbi Yehuda, we still find reasons to be matir. So if the same question as Shmuel is osir, Shmuel holds like Rabbi Shimon. If Shmuel holds like Rabbi Shimon, then why is Shmuel osir? So then Shmuel nami ikel that he's osir lo'olam Rabbi Shimon svaralei, even though he holds like Rabbi Shimon, Davar Shimon's coming is motor, he's still osers. The hachnishna damar dam nipchad pakir the first lasha and lepetach husarak, since he needs the pesach, it's boina, and therefore even though it's a Davar Shimon's kaven, it's pesach reshe of a pesach, and then he's mater. The hachnishna damar chibure the dam husarak, since he needs the tzara, since he needs the dam, it's a Davar Shimon's kaven. It's not the Pesik Reish, it's Davar Shemis Kaven. It's not Davar Shemis Kaven, it's Davar Shemis Kaven. So therefore, Rabbi Shimon is still matter. Now we're going to need this. Like, according to Shmuel, it's still Aser because the dam hu tzarech. If he needs the dam, then it's going to be Aser according to Shmuel. We're going to need that for later. Now the Gemara continues. Meisev Rev Chista. Rev Chista poses a challenge, and who is this challenge to? Now, if you see in the Gemara, basically we're going to say that you can have bia on Shabbos. So tinoket shelo higi mana lirot. Rashi. From the second nida, Amar Amesai higi mana liros mishigir yumei noirim. So that you have a girl who's not a naira, she's under the age of nairas. And since she's under the age of Nairish, her time to see Dam Nida has not arrived. So therefore, any blood in which she sees is not going to be Nida Dam. V'nisei, since she gets married. So Beis Shammai Oimrim Noisin La Arba Lailos. So she can get 4 nights. If she gets 4 nights, Rashi Shekol Damim Shetireh Behen Machmas Tashmish. Machzikin lohu b'dam besulim. So dam besulim is dam tahor. The only dam that's tamei is coming from the makor. The makor has to open up, and the dam nida has to come out, or the dam ziva comes from the same place as the dam nida. But besulim has nothing to do with that. That doesn't open up. So therefore, that dam is tahor. So you have this tinokes that's under the age of naira. She doesn't see dam. She doesn't see nida. So therefore, any dam you see is going to be dam besulim. And dam tahor. So says Beis Shammai, how long can I be toila this dam that I see in besulim and say that it's not nida, therefore it's tahor? So Shammai says you only get 4 nights. So these 4 nights, again, it's not ritzufin. We'll see that later. It's not 4 nights of the first 4 nights of marriage. It's the first 4 bias that you see blood. The first 4 bias you see blood. Then, now you see Rashi here. Important words here. Shekol damim shetira. El blood that you see behem machmas tashmish. So have to see. So Beis Shammai is that Beis Shammai noisin la arbor lilas. If you don't see blood on this, you see blood on the first. You don't see blood on the second. You don't see blood on the third. Then you do see blood on the fourth. What does Beis Shammai say in that case? Chayra Beis Shammai would say that's dam besulim. Yes. No. Yeah. Seemingly, so shekol dam shetireh behen in any of the 4 nights. Nachmas tashmish. So obviously, if she just bleeds and you didn't touch her, so that would be dam nida. But if you're going in there and damaging her besulim, and then the blood comes out, so then you'll say it's besulim dam or not. Nachazik, you have a chazaka that's dam besulim. So if you have tashmish 5 times in a row, and there's blood all 5 times, so Beis Shammai says that the 5th night is dam nida. You can't be toila on dam basulim anymore. Now I'm not really sure where the four I was kind of looking around. I didn't really see anything. So why dafka 4? Why 4 nights? Why not 3 nights? Why not 10 nights? Like what exactly 4 is? Ubeis Hillel oimrim at chetichia makkah. So you're going to say that any blood you see is going to be dam basulim until the injury is healed. So Rashi, kol zman she'ena mishamish below dam, any time that you don't have tashmish without dam, it's got a double negative here. So that you have tashmish without, you have clean tashmish. So this is where you have tashmish and there is dam, lo tichem makkah. Then that's when it hasn't healed. So therefore, if you have tashmish and there isn't any dam, so therefore it is healed, then the next time it's tameh. So therefore, you can go on for a seemingly unlimited amount of time. They say in the name of the Rambam that it's up to a year. But every time you have tashmish, again, this isn't 4 nights. It can also be 4 days. It doesn't have to be ritufin. It can be 4 times in, which we'll see, 4 times in 12 months. But it could be 100 times in the year. As long as every time you have tashmish, then there's dam. Since she has no chazaka of having nida, so therefore you'll say all the blood is basulim blood, and only once you stop seeing basulim blood from tashmish, and then afterwards there's dam, then you'll say that that's dam nida. Good, so that's Shita's base Hillel. Yeah? So now the question comes out. What if you see dam on the first night, you see dam on the second time, you don't see dam on the third time, and then you see dam on the fourth time? What does Beis Hillel say in that case? Is that dam you see on the fourth night, is that dam nida, or that is dam basulim? Dam nida, says Max. Now, the problem with that is that we would agree that Beis Shammai would say that dam is dam basulim. Therefore, Beis Shammai would say that she's tahor, and Beis Hillel would say that she's tameh. In which case, then this would be one of the kulas of Beis Shammai, and it's not listed in the Mishnah. In where is it? In Idius. So, Mephoshim say that Hillel will have to go at least past the first 4 nights in order to have his din, because it's not one of the kulas of Beis Shammai. So therefore, Hillel would have to include the din of Beis Shammai, and therefore it would have to be after the first 4 nights. But if you see any blood you see in the first 4 nights, would be dam basulim. Now in the Rambam, Im nisas katana, bein lo rasadam mimea, bein sharatadam bebezavia, harezu muteris labaila achatia amaka. He's saying here that it's achatia amaka. This is Shitas Beis Hillel. Shekol tam shetire machmas amaka hiva im rasadam achar shatia amaka harezu nida. So the Rambam says here stam, any blood he sees after harezu nida, after the rent. So he says nothing about 4 nights. The Rambam is poskening like the first idea, which he said is that Hillel's not going like this is the Hillel is more machmir in this case than Beis Shammai. You know, the Svara would be saying otherwise. And again, there are some shitas that say that it would have to be beyond what Beis Shammai is holding. The Rambam here is pashas of the Rambam. Again, the Rambam, one of the problems with the Rambam is that you can kind of prove whatever you want out of what he says. Because here you can read it either way. He doesn't say clearly, even less than 4, if he said even less than 4 nights, but he's writing it in a davar makatzer, so therefore, in Ratzadam Akshazayamaka, Reza Nunta, in fact, he doesn't say anything about whether 4 nights or more than 4 nights or less than 4 nights. Then the pashas of the Rambam is that it is Aser and that the Hillel is more machmir than Shammai. We also have it's a maklokas rishonim. Also, for example, in the case of when you have a boy, if you have two boys, Beis Shammai holds that you're yotzi per ruvu. Hillel says you need a boy and a girl. Now, does Hillel have to say a boy and a girl? Sorry, a boy and a girl as well as two boys, or are you saying only a boy and a girl and not two boys? So again, there's a maklokas rishonim there as to whether that since it's not listed in the cases of Hillel being more machmir, Hillel being more machmir than Shammai, because if you have two boys, Shammai says you're yotze and Hillel says you're not yotze, so there it should be that Shammai is more mekel. So it's a maklokas rishonim there as to whether Hillel says also or he says only. So it's it would be something like that here. Now Hegi is mana lirot. So now she's a naira. So Rashi says velo rasa, but she never saw, but she hasn't seen yet. Why is Rashi saying that? And then she got married. So now it's a different case because this woman, again, she's not muchzak for dam nida, but it's shayach dam nida. And maybe the first time she is bia, that's taka dam nida. Beis Shammai omer noten la laila harishon. Rashi afilu lebilas harbe. Even many bias on the first night. Now, what's Rashi adding here? I mean, do I really care? What's the day? What's it coming to be moitzi here? It says laila rishon. That means the whole night. Now, the Pashas, the Rashi, as he's saying before, is a woman that hasn't seen. A woman that has seen. So then, Beis Shammai doesn't give Laila Rishon, only gives Bia Rishon. But since this girl, as Rashi says, that she hasn't seen, that why is she getting the whole of the first night and not just Bia Rishon is because she's never seen before. But if she has seen before, even though that she is not, obviously she's not a Nida right now, and obviously if she has a Veset, you're expecting her to have Nida, you're not going to have, you're supposed to have Bia with her at all, so she's expecting her to be a Nida next week. You're only allowed to have one bia because she's mukzak, that she has nida. Therefore, Rashi adds here that she's never seen, and therefore she gets the whole night, even many bias, because that's not true if she has seen. Beis Hillel oimrim ad moitzi Shabbos arba lailus. So here we have the same arba lailus that Beis Shammai has in the first case of the child. Now Hillel is saying arba lailus here. So the pashtus of the question is that you have 4 nights. I think does Rashi speak this my lav hanach arba lailas ad moitzi Shabbos the ketani lahachi tani lohu. That this is what the moitzi Shabbos is, the 4 nights. The ilo baal beila gemora matzi libol v'chol tam shehu moitzi tamid. He's going to spell out the night. So the first night here, he says here leil chamishi, because he got married on Wednesday, just like our Mishnah, and he has a bia on Thursday night. Vishishi, second night is Thursday night, which is Friday, which is Shishi, and then we have Shabbos is Friday night, and Moitzi Shabbos is Saturday night. Right, so these are the 4 nights: Chamishi, Vishishi, Vishabbos, Moitzi Shabbos. So these are the Ad Moitzi Shabbos, which is Saturday, Arba Lailas. That's 4 nights. So therefore, the Pasha says that you're having bia on the Shabbos. So this is the Mesiv Rav Chisda. So now, who is this a kasha on? So comes the Ritva, Mesiv Rav Chisda, Tinoke, Perish v'kushi lamanda aser, afilu Rabbi Shimon. So this question is only coming to, i.e. Shmuel, who is aser, and even according to Rabbi Shimon. And we saw that in the Tosfos that how does Shmuel holds of Rabbi Shimon, therefore why is he asering? So that's the Rebbe. These are the shitas again. Adam hu tzarech, tahinu Shmuel aliba de Rav. So that's going up in the top of our page here. That bebei Rav Amri Rav Shari v'Shmuel Aser. Because the other lashon we have Shmuel Shari. We're talking that Shmuel is Aser and he holds like Rabbi Shimon. So Shmuel Shari because he holds like Rabbi Shimon. Why is Shmuel Aser? That's Shmuel Aser. We have in this Mesiv of Rav Chisda. Why is it not a kasha on Rav? To ilu l'Rav aliba de nardaya lik lemifrach. To ihu amor lacha anad amri aliba de Rabbi Yehuda de Aser. Davar Shemus Kalvin. So why does it say that it is? So Rav holds that it's Aser because he holds like Rabbi Yehuda, and the Mishnah that says that it's Mutter is Rabbi Shimon and Shari. So therefore it's an obvious answer for Rav, but Shmuel, why is it? You can't say that it's Rabbi Yehuda that's Shari in the Mishnah, and I hold like Rabbi Shimon that's Aser, because Rabbi Shimon is more Mekel than Rabbi Yehuda. So therefore, the kasha is on Shmuel. Why is this be on Shabbos? Should we see it's mutter? This is the kasha on Shmuel. So my lav de ilo baal matzi be'il. Is it not that if he hasn't had bia already on the first 2 nights, it's possible that he can now do ba. Now we're going to need this for later. Ba'al is that he had be in the past tense. Ba'il is that he's doing he is like the present tense, that he's doing be now. So now we're talking about Shabbos. He can now have ifilu b'Shabbos. So he hasn't done bia before, and he's able to do bia in the future. Now Rashi here, my love. Hanach arba leilos ad motzi Shabbos. That's the 4 nights. Dekatani lahachi tani lahu. This is why we're teaching them. De'ilo bal be'ila gemora. What's Rashi doing here? If he didn't have bia gemora, he had bia. He had bia on the first night. He had bia on the second night. But it wasn't a bia gemora. So he didn't take out all the basulim. He can still go back on Shabbos and do it. Matzi lemibal. He's able to do bia on Shabbos. V'chol dam shehu moitzi tamid barayasav have dam basulim. So every time all the blood he's taken out, every time that he goes in there, we say that it's dam basulim. V'shmiminei nami demuter lebo b'chabura b'Shabbos. And agav, we see that since you can go all 4 nights, you're removing the basulim like a little bit every night. But for sure, when it says the ilo baal, Rashi says the lo baal be'ila gemura, because he didn't have a proper bia. He had a bia. Sure, he had a bia. He had a bia on Thursday, and he had a bia on Friday, and now Friday night, he's still allowed to have the bia, even though this dam is still there. Now, if we have a look at the ritva. As explained in the Sugi, Umilta agav orachei kamash malan shenoisin laheter beila lechatchila b'Shabbos. So the ritva is holding that the beila is lechatchila. This is the first beia. The first beia is on Shabbos. It's not like Rashi. Rashi says he had beia on Thursday and Friday. Here we're saying no. We're having the beia lechatchila on Shabbos. On Friday night, it's the first time they have beia. Lahina dekatani had moitzi Shabbos. That's why it says until moitzi Shabbos. Hakikamar noisin la ad moitzi Shabbos laboy lechatchila. We're giving them all the way. You can have all 4 nights to have a lechatchila bia. Umitchila uveilech mamshlichin la dalet leilos ledam toher. And those, so the first 4 nights you're giving it dam toher, because again the besulim is dam toher and the nida will be dam tameh. So Ritva is holding that you're having the bia lechatchila. So my lav de ilo baal at all, you never had bia, then you have to have ifilu b'Shabbos. So the 2 shitas, and the question is what's the machlokas between the shitas? Which is more poshut, like the Ritva or like Rashi? How would you want to learn the Gemara? Well, sounds like you're just thinking about it now. Well, I think the pashut would be you had bia on the Thursday night or the Wednesday night because you got married and you had bia. Like why are you pissing about? Like what are you doing here? And here we have Hillel saying, so it's like a common thing. For sure, you can have people who don't do it, and they have their other reasons. And again, you want to have the whole Mishnah is telling you got to go to Beis Din on Thursday morning if you have any issues on your Wednesday night bia. So really you're gonna have bia on Wednesday night. So it makes sense. makes sense in Svara to have, but the Lashon de Ilo Baal, you haven't had Bia. Rashi, because Rashi has to say Gemara, he has to add in the word Gemara there. So the Lashon might be noted a little bit like the Ritva, but I'd say in Svara it's more like Rashi. But why is Rashi not learning like the Ritva, and why is the Ritva not learning like Rashi? Now, according to Rashi, again, of course, well, what's even the kasha? Why is Shmuel saying that it's Asur? It's Asur because it's Tzarech L'Dam. That's what Tosfos says, it's Tzarech L'Dam. Why do you need the dam? You need the dam to see if she's a basula or not. So you did that already on Wednesday night when you had that bia, because you got to, make sure before you go to Beis Din what's going on there. So therefore, you've already checked if there's dam or not. And if you checked if there's dam or not, since it's L'Dam Hu Tzarech, then for sure it's mutter. For sure it's mutter on Shabbos. What's the shaila? You already had bia, you already took out the dam, and therefore it's not Asur on Shabbos because you don't need the dam anymore. So Rashi doesn't make any sense, right? Or we also had a second reason in the Tosfos as to why you need the dam. We said that you need the dam because you don't want to dirty the sheets anymore. You don't want to make a mess every time you go in there. So you want the dam to clean it out. So if you haven't done it, be a Gemara. So therefore, on Shabbos you still want to make it clean and make sure it's dirty. So Rashi, perforce, has to hold that you need the dam in order to keep things clean for next time. Like the second reason we saw in Tosfos. But the basula to see, because you want the dam to see if she's, but the basula, Rashi can't hold that because it doesn't make any sense. Why is the Ritva not learning like Rashi? Because Ritva holds that you need the dam in order to see if she's a basula or not. Therefore, Ritva has to hold that you haven't had any biyas yet, and therefore the first biyah is on Shabbos because he holds that the biyah is the tzarech ledam is because you need the dam in order to see if she's a basula or not. So if you had dam before, if you had biyah before, so then you have this issue of the question we were asking on Rashi, that you don't need the dam anymore. So therefore he holds that you haven't had any biyah yet. So Rava answers, Lo lavar mi Shabbos. No, it's not. It's not including Shabbos. It's that Rava is saying that you get the 4 nights, but you're not allowed to have biyah on Shabbos. So he's answering up for Shmuel that it's also it's also because the brisa itself is saying that it's also on Shabbos. Amar le'abayi v'ha'ad motzi Shabbos arba lailas katani. So here we have until our motzi Shabbos. So then this is what the Rashi is listing out the nights. V'lo b'shchachas le'lavar mishabbos. So we don't have it without Shabbos. We don't have 4 nights if we don't include Shabbos. The Haber he says she gets married on the Wednesday. The Yesh Kan, 1 is the first night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night is Shabbos. Moitzi Shabbos is the 4th night. So therefore, by Zana, you can't have Moitzi Shabbos and Arba Lailas together without including Shabbos. Eila Amar Rava. So therefore, Rava Mekabels Abaye's Kasha, and the Rava gives different terms. Kusha Baal. He already had biyah. Now, we're going to have 2 ways to understand this. According to Ritva, it's Pshuto. He had biyah on Thursday. Therefore, it's mutter. Taka, that's what Rav is saying. Rav is trying to say why it's mutter on Shabbos. So, Kishabal, he already had biyah. He already had biyah on Thursday and Friday, so therefore on Shabbos is mutter. By Ika Shabal, my Kamash Malan. What's the chiddush if they've already had biyah? So velo atza la'oire, you're not coming to teach me, Lan. Eile heter dam besulim. I thought that the Mishnah is coming to teach me that dam besulim is mutter on Shabbos. So therefore, if it's just mutter to have biyah on Shabbos, because you already took out the dam besulim. Oh yeah, sorry. So the second way to understand Rava, Kushabal, so Rashi has to learn that it's Kushabal be a Gemara. So therefore you removed all the Basulim on the first 2 nights, and therefore on Shabbos is mutter. And therefore eat Kushabal, what's the Chiddush? Because I thought the Chiddush was to teach me that there's a heter dam Basulim on Shabbos. You can have that, it's mutter to take it the Basulim on Shabbos. That was the whole heter. I did not get ad motzi Shabbos, my Kamashmalan. Therefore, why do I have ad motzi Shabbos? It's pashut. Lisni noisin la arba leilos. So therefore, just leave it out without the Shabbos. She has 4 nights, and therefore it's the dam tahor. Al korcha mishom be'ilu Shabbos nakatla. It's for sure we're given a heter on Shabbos for this beer. So, Rav is saying Kamashmalan deshari limibal b'Shabbos. So Rav is saying that there's an idea here that maybe it's also. And Shmuel says it's mutter. To Amar Shmuel, pirtzut achuka mutter likanes bo b'Shabbos. That A. So pirtzut achuka is a small hole. So if you have a opening into a hole, into a cave, it's a hole in the wall that you walk through, but it's a tight opening. It's mutter likanes ba b'Shabbos. Avol pirush shemeshers tzorus. Even though, again, the Lashon here is saying that you will move some small pebbles. So as you're going in, it's like the tight opening. As you brush in against the opening, you remove part of the opening, and then you either have binyan or you have stira, and it's also on Shabbos. And Shmuel here is saying that when you're going into this tight opening, it's mutter to enter it, even though you're removing the tzarus. Now, v'hai nami, so Rashi goes straight into the nimshul. But in Shmuel's din, what's the heter? If it's binyan, if it's stira, so if it's that you will for sure move stones, then you have psik reishe to lo nichele, is mutter. Most people learn that it means that maybe you won't remove stones. It's just the davar she'emes kavan is mutter. So then he said that Shmuel is that a davar she'emes kavan is mutter. So that the whole point of the Mishnah is to tell you that it's mutter, because davar she'emes kavan is mutter. Davar she'emes kavan is mutter. Now, let's just see what Rashi is saying here on the Mishnah Soros. So hi nami. Dilmas with the girl as well. Maybe you machavel porta. You're going to give a chavala for a little bit. Musfeka lo asrinile. So Rashi is saying that for sure it's not a vada that you will remove the stones, and for sure you won't do the chabala. Now, what is this chabala? Maybe you'll have a chabala. So there's a few ways to see this. One is that a basula has a narrower passageway, and therefore you are like expanding the passageway when you're in the first 4 nights. And then you have maybe you'll do a chabala when you're expanding it, or you're creating a type of you're making the pesach like binyan when you are widening the passageway. So just like when you're widening the passageway into the hole with the pirtzut achuka, so too the canal is narrow, and therefore you're widening the passageway. And even though there might be a chabala, or that the pashas that most Rishonim learn is that there's some basulim that are leftovers, and since there's some basulim left over, it's going to be aser, because you'll draw blood because it's not a psik reishe, so therefore it's mutter. So Okma Krishma is the Rashba. Ploimer le'olam b'shaba'al be'ila gemura. So the Rashba is, you're saying really you've did a complete bia beforehand. V'dam haba dam etzadadimhu. So this is blood from the sides that are nishtaya, that are left there. Ve'ein bo mishum chabura v'lo mishum petach. So he says the 2 things. It's not because of chabura. You're not making a chabura because it's on the side, and it's the dam that's left over there. And you're not making a Pesach either, which we said would be because you're widening the passageway. So therefore it's a davar she'emes kavan. It's really these are like a side code word for a davar a davar she'emes kalvin is a meisher batzoris derek kenasus. Now the Taisvus at the bottom here, my lav de ilo boil matzi boil. De lemay knocket ad moitzi Shabbos. Why do we say ad moitzi Shabbos? Ilav against like what Rashi saying you have the 4 nights ad moitzi Shabbos. Ilav de atal lashrin and matzi boil b'Shabbos. If it wasn't to say that you're allowed to have be on Shabbos. Afokav to make sure besulim, even though you're removing the besulim on Shabbos. The lekel lememor. So now Tosis now is coming to tell me, don't tell me another reason why it says 4 nights. To knock it ad moitzi Shabbos lashmin and debin and ritzufim that you need the 4 nights. Again, Beis Shammai, Beis Hillel will get 4 nights. That don't tell me. So we're in Beis Hillel, but the 4 nights that Beis Hillel is given, don't tell me that it says 4 nights until moitzi Shabbos. Tell me ritzufim. Daha lo be'inin ritzufim because we don't need those 4 nights to be ritzufim. Kedatanya beperik basra de nida, as we see in nida. My 7 notan la dadat lailus mintoch yud beis chodesh. We referenced this before. She gave the girl 4. We were toila for 4 nights into the entire first year on besulim. So it doesn't have to be ritzufim. It's just the first 4 nights. It's the first 4 biyas in the first 12 months. There, the dam you find is dam toher. So what's the question? V'hachi parech, naisen la dalit leil. Give her 4 nights ad moitzi Shabbos. Sheyebo b'chol laila, that she will have bia every night. V'yashir mixes besulim ad moitzi Shabbos, and he will remove a little bit of the besulim in all 4 times, not just in all one go. Against like the terrace, whatever. How whatever one idea. Bia Gomorrah is where you remove them all in one go. He's removing a little bit until Moitzi Shabbos. Veshmina deshari lahashir besulim b'Shabbos, and therefore the question is, therefore we see it's mutter to be meisher besulim b'Shabbos. Therefore, what does Shmuel say? It's also. So the answer is now. Just we're going to need this for later. At this point, Tosis is saying that we know that you need ritzufin. We're not asking in the originally that we need ritzufin. So everybody knows when we hit this Gemara that we need ritzufin. Yeah, because the question is, my lab the low boy matzi boil. How do we know it's referring to Shabbos? Maybe it means ritzufin. Tosis says no, because it says in Nida that we don't need ritzufin, and seemingly everyone knows that. So that's the beginning. Everybody knows that we don't need ritzufin. Mishani, what's the terrace? Lo lavar mi Shabbos. No, it's without Shabbos. So Moitzi Shabbos naket. So why does it say Moitzi Shabbos? To teach us that we need ritzufin. So now it's telling us we need ritzufin. So you did be a Gemara, and then we need ritzufin. So you have the 4 nights, so without Shabbos, so you don't have be on Shabbos, but you need ritzufin, so therefore the 4 nights in a row are Thursday night, Friday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, and Saturday night. So you have the 4 nights, but the Moitzi Shabbos, but you just lose out the Shabbos because it's awesome. We have to see what this teretz is. What do I mean that we need ritzufin? We just said in Nida that you don't need ritzufin. The havi motzi lemifrak. We could have asked me brisa the perik basra to Nida. We could have just asked right then from the perik from the brisa in Nida the moichet afilim mufuzar, and that we don't need ritzufin. Ele the perik le migufa. We said from the brisa we have a better kasha. The ha'ad moitzi Shabbos arba leilas katani. So it says arba leilas and moitzi Shabbos together. V'im teima mi'ikara de mishani lavar mi Shabbos ma'ala b'daita. So originally when we said except for Shabbos, what were we thinking? The ha'katani behediya dalad leilas. So therefore, what was the half mean? If it says 4 nights, how can you say not Shabbos? Ishlamar de havi zakataycha de hachi perush. This is what we're saying. Noisin la'ad moitzi Shabbos lavar mi Shabbos, so that she gets until Moitzi Shabbos except for Shabbos, which is 3 nights of Bia, Shehen Bein Akol, Dalad Lailas. That's 4 nights, 3 of which are mutter for Bia. Vihu Parich, the Mashma, the Baal, Dalad Lailas. And he says that it's Mashma, you 4 nights, Umishani Kishabal. And then the Teretz says when he's a Baal Bia Gemora. Kamashmalan, Kamosh, Mefarish, Balter Hachi, and the Chiddush, therefore, what's the Chiddush of the Mishnah? As we say after this, Avogav, the Havi Purtu de Chukah. Even though it is a Purtu de Chukah, so again, she's not fully expanded, or you've left over some Daha'i Chazinin Talinin Bedam. If you see blood, talilim bedam basulim, then you say that it's dam tahor. But even though, so how can you be toile and say there's dam tahor? Because if it's dam tameh, then it's nida blood, and he didn't do anything else on Shabbos. You just over kares or whatever for having piyah with the nida. But here, if you see the dam basulim, so that's then it's mochrach that you're damaging the basulim on Shabbos. So filohachi it's shari, even though it's shari. Right. So why is it shari? So we're saying that at the beginning, when you bal betchila, when you have your first bia, it is a pesik reishe, and therefore it's aser. For those who want to aser, it's a pesik reishe. But here, when you've already had a bia and there's only some blood left, only some basulim left, then maybe you'll take it out on Shabbos. It's not a pesik reishe; it's davar shemis gavin, and therefore Shmuel will hold that that's mutter. So even though blood comes out, I can still say that it's mutter because it's davar shemis gavin. It's not a pesik reishe. It's a chashash, that you'll make a chabura. And there's a chashash that there's basulim left over. So since there's a chashash of that, therefore it's a davar shemis gavin. So that's what Tosfos is explaining the array. But then here, my kamash malan says Tosfos b'mai did not get ad Motzi Shabbos. What's the chiddush to say that we said to Motzi Shabbos? Delein Ritzufan lekel lameimar, because Ritzufan you can't say that's a chiddush like I explained. So here the Marsha picks up and he says asugya dochuka. According to Tosfos, this is a very doichik sugya. The miyikara nami parech leimi mai did not get my shana. We already said my shana. We already asked the same question. And where are we getting our question from? V'samach achach brisa denida de lo boy ritzufin. So our whole question, as Tosfos explained, we're starting off with the brisa of nida that we don't need ritzufin. That was already built into the question. Mataretz lo chashle or de lo yada hach brisa. So the matartzin didn't know that brisa or didn't care about that brisa of nida. V'kamar denachim motzi Shabbos de boy ritzufin. That we need ritzufin. We just said we don't need ritzufin because of nida. The hashta chazer lahashkot lo mehach brisa. They said we've never gone back to that brisa of nida. Because is saying, but my denachim motzi Shabbos because we can't say ritzufin because this my kamash malan here is going on the same thing of the my lav. So the my lav was holding of nida and my kamash malan is holding of nida, but in the middle we just kind of lost it. The havilei lasui hach brisa. And he should have brought the brisa to show that you don't need ritzufim because the mataris doesn't care about it or he doesn't know it. So we have inbuilt, hiddenly, into two questions this idea of that we don't that ritzufin isn't a good teretz. That we don't need ritzufin and we're going to forget it in the middle and then we go back to it. So the Marsha is just pointing out that this Tosfos is a bit dechika.